I think when they think of competition, they tend to think of it as an extraordinary event. Okay, I've got my training here, which is ordinary every day, and then there's the stage, which is extraordinary, which stands outside of what I normally do. My whole emphasis is that there's no difference. And so as the competition gets closer, I remind them more and more that what they do on the stage is exactly what they do here in the basement every single day. I don't hype fighters. I don't say, this is the, your big chance. You're on the stage now. I go the exact opposite route. For me, it's about normalization. These kids do something twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, every day. What they do on the stage is identical. There's something which I often talk about to them, the parable of the plank. It's a little long. Is it something you'd be interested in hearing? When I was a child, growing up in New Zealand, we grew up in a very rural area, and it was charming but somewhat rustic and primitive. And one day, we were all around 5 to 7 years old. Our teachers came to us at the small school, and they said, a visitor has come and you're going to watch him. He's a daredevil. Now, daredevil meant stuntman. He was a stuntman. Now, you must remember, this is 1970s New Zealand countryside. Of course, he wasn't much of a stuntman. He was very much an enthusiastic amateur. He was actually from Australia, and he performed stunts for us. Now, we're like 30 kids. The whole high school was like 30 kids, and we're watching. Now, to us, this guy was a god, absolute god. He put on a glove and set his hand on fire. We were just like, oh my God, like his hand's on fire. We couldn't believe it. He threw a boomerang and caught it. Like, we were just like, wow, it boggled our mind. So I went through a series of stunts. He fell downstairs, and we just, oh my God, incredible. This guy can fall downstairs and he's fine. So he was like an amateur stuntman. And for his final trick, he went to the 2 buildings of our school. Now, those buildings were very small. They were 2 stories. But to us, they were like New York skyscrapers. He put a plank between the 2 buildings, and he walked across the plank. Once, twice, 3 times. And we just couldn't believe it. It was like, to us, it was like a guy who walked between the Twin Towers, who put a line across, and famously, it couldn't have been any better. We just were howling. We couldn't believe it. It was incredible. But at the end, he came down with his plank, and he put the plank on the ground, and he asked us all to run across it. And we all did. And it was easy. And then he looked at us, and he said something I never forgot. He said, the plank is the same. I put it up higher, and so it took your breath away. But you guys just ran across the plank. The plank didn't change. Your perceptions of it did. And he's right. That's the difference between the gym and the stage. There is no difference. The plank doesn't change.